We got to talk about this iPhone 17 Air. This is
just iPhone.
I keep doing that.
iPhone Air.
Doing that.
iPhone.
We got to talk about the iPhone Air. So that's the first thing. iPhone Air is new to the lineup. It is, I guess, not an iPhone 17. It's an iPhone Air. It's part of the lineup of new phones.
In your defense, in the doc, it does say 17 Air.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they said iPhone Air on stage, and I remember writing that in my tweet, and being careful not to say 17, because they didn't say 17. But it's in the middle of the lineup. It's the $1,000 phone. It's replacing the Plus.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more expensive than the base iPhones. It's less expensive than the Pro iPhones. They took some stuff from the Pro iPhones that I didn't expect them to, which was interesting, because we heard about this ultra-thin phone. And then they also took some stuff from the base iPhones. So the basic idea, if you haven't already seen, is it's a crazy razor-thin iPhone.
Yeah.
To be precise, 5.6 millimeters.
Thinner than the S25 Edge.
Notably, probably important to them, they are the thinner one.
Yeah.
Of course, there is also still that plateau at the top. This phone reminds me more than ever of the Nexus 6P. But it's a single camera, the 48 megapixel fusion camera. And then it's just thin buttons, thin camera control, thin action button. The port at the bottom, there's no speakers at the bottom of the phone.
Yeah, that's strange.
I saw this
there's
because
none
I
at the
posted.
bottom?
Yeah, I put my short out and I was like, wow, these speaker holes at the bottom are really small. And then all the comments were like, I checked Apple's website. There's actually no speakers at the bottom. That's just the microphone holes. It's just a single speaker at the top.
Wait, is
In
it
the plateau?
mono?
It's a it's not mono, but it's
No,
not. Well, I guess technically it is mono. It's
There's
a
only
single
one
speaker at the
driver.
top.
Is it two drivers inside one?
It's probably two
Is it
drivers
behind the
at the
screen?
top. But it's
Mono?
usually
It's
the
in the
earpiece
plateau. I
speaker.
don't know where it comes from.
Just in the plateau.
Oh, yeah, the earpiece speaker, and they could do
Yeah.
it in stereo.
Most phones have speaker at the top of the phone, speaker at the bottom of the phone. This one is so thin and is so focused on just filling it up with battery that they have not put a speaker at the bottom of the phone. They have also not put a SIM card tray at the bottom of the phone. It's eSIM only globally. They have also not put an ultra wide, obviously, or a telephoto camera. It's just a single camera. And it is Ceramic Shield 2, front and back, and it's a titanium frame.
Yeah.
They chose to put the A19 Pro in this phone, minus one GPU core.
Yeah.
But the A19 Pro chip, and we were chatting about this, it seems like that's a more potentially efficient chip overall.
That's what was very funny is like, I was worried. I was like, why would they put this more intense chip in this phone? But then they were like, and it gets even better battery life.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does the Pro chip get better battery life?
So it's, I think almost every choice about the hardware of this phone paradoxically is to maximize battery life.
Yeah, every single
because it is
thing.
so thin that the only thing that they can optimize for is just whatever they can do, just put more battery in this phone. And we'll talk about battery in a second, but USB 2 instead of USB 3?
Yeah, it's a slower
Slower
standard.
bus. Okay.
So if you want to move files from it, but obviously you're probably not going to be shooting because it doesn't. You're not even allowed to shoot ProRes RAW or any of that stuff on this phone.
Yeah.
So
it's a 6.5-inch screen up front, so it is a little bigger than the smallest iPhone, and it is a ProMotion display, which again, that's great. It's going to have all the way down to 1 hertz. That's efficient, always on, great. And yeah, it's not going to have the vapor chamber or any of the thermal improvements that the Pro had. So the behavior of the chip is going to be interesting to watch when we test it, because it may be more efficient at the low end, but when you do try to do bursty or like longer sustained performance stuff, is it going to overheat instantly in throttle?
Yeah.
Is it going to get really hot because there's no vapor chamber? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
They tried to miniaturize basically everything. They made a new version of the C1 modem. The C1 modem, and they said this specifically in the keynote. They were like, we only released the C1 modem 6 months ago, and now
16E.
we've got the C1X.
Yeah.
So in this iPhone 16e, we saw that custom C1 modem.
Yes.
Right? Because they wanted to move away from Qualcomm, all this stuff. And now, they said this in the keynote, it was only 6 months ago that we introduced the C1 modem. Now we're introducing the C1X modem, which they say is 2 times faster than the C1 modem. I do not know what that means when it comes to a modem.
That seems crazy.
But it's apparently also 30% more battery efficient.
Yeah.
And as we said, everything is about battery efficiency.
And this was part of the whole N1 chip package for all of their network connectivity.
So there's the N1 chip, which does Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and Thread radios all in one chip as well.
Yeah.
which is yeah.
So I think the idea behind all of this is to just be maximally efficient. It's the same idea as like when we had Intel chips versus Apple Silicon in these laptops, and they got much better battery life and efficiency because they were dialed for what they wanted to do with them instead of off the shelf. Same thing. If you're going to gear this thing towards paradoxically maximum battery life, then that makes sense for this phone.
And they put almost everything in the plateau area of this phone.
Yeah.
Like they put as much battery as they could physically fit in the bottom half of the phone.
Yeah.
It was both cameras, front and back, speaker, chip. It's just like literally that's what the plateau is
Yeah,
for.
like
It's
most
just to
of the
shove
stuff is
everything
in the plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are making jokes that the next iPhone, the next Nano device is just going to be the plateau.
With the big camera.
Honestly,
That would look like Sully from Monsters Inc.
yeah.
That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah. So, you know, you're not getting macro camera, spatial. You can't do spatial photos because it needs at least 2 cameras. So you
Yep.
can't do any of that. You're not getting ProRAW, no cinematic mode, no spatial video, no ProRes video, no Academy color grading or encoding, no Apple Log 2, no Genlock, no macro video, no studio quality 4 mic array, no millimeter wave. Oh no.
But it's 5.6 millimeters thin.
This is the whole thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're giving up so much for something that feels, yes, it does feel amazing and shocking.
Yeah.
But I just wonder how long is it going to take for that veneer to wear off and for you to be like, but what about all the features and the fact that this has probably horrible battery life?
Yeah. I will say that testing and using S25 Edge, I had a similar arc of feelings and thoughts, which was, okay, we see the videos. Oh, it looks really cool and thin, but like nobody's asking for this. What are we doing here? Oh, you'll probably sell a few. The ad's really cool and snazzy, but like whatever. And then I hold it and I go, damn. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's like kind of, I kind of want to use this phone. And it looks cool on video and you can tell it's thin, but it's thin and light. So the combo of like holding this like, I don't know, it's a crazy piece of hardware in your hand and it has a ProMotion display on the front and it's a totally smooth, like usable iPhone. And you're like, dang, this is kind of impressive. I went through that also. And then, but like logically, it is a worse phone. And the only way to justify buying the Edge is to really like the fact that it's so thin and light. That is the only thing that will make you buy it over the other phones. So how much do you really want or are impressed by that?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Yeah.
It is, the brighter screen, titanium, all that fun stuff. It looks fine.
This phone was invented to miniaturize the parts so that it's one half of the iPhone Fold.
Okay, yeah, so this is my...
That's what this is.
I kind of like started this thought in the impressions video, and I'll probably have to try to finish it in the review. But I kind of feel like you can only see this phone one of 2 ways. Way number 1 is Apple is just trying it. And, you know, they tried the mini thing. Like, Ella's bought one, but who else, like, has... not a lot of sales, right? So then they moved to the Plus. They're like, oh, people like big screens. We'll do the Plus phones. And then they had the Plus phones for a little bit. And those were okay sales, but not really killing it. So
that
then
was the
they go,
worst selling one.
yeah, it didn't hit. And so now they're like, oh, what if we do ultra thin? And so they go through the process of miniaturizing and the N1 chip and all this fun stuff. And so now they're just throwing something at the wall and seeing if it sticks. That's one way you could see it. The other way you could see it is Apple has been dreaming of this for years, and this is a long time in the making. And this is the first step towards every phone being this thin. They just needed to get the right combination of parts and Apple Silicon and battery technology and hardware and displays and everything to finally make this a real phone. And in the same way that like the first MacBook Air kind of sucked and was underpowered, but then now every laptop is that thin and it's totally fine, that's also going to happen with smartphones. This iPhone Air is a little underpowered. It might overheat. It has a really weak battery. But when they finally get like silicon carbon and like Apple Silicon gets even more efficient and all this stuff, it's going to be like a totally normal iPhone and we'll all have phones like this everywhere.
Yeah, it's interesting because they made a new MagSafe battery that is very thin profile. And
Which I want.
only works with the Air, but it actually...
Designed for the Air, but
It's designed for the Air. It doesn't only work
Yeah.
for the Air with
Yeah.
the Air. You could put it on another phone, but you would have to put it sideways because of the way.
Oh, how tall it is because the plateau
Yeah.
is so tall up.
Yes.
I didn't even think
it's
of that.
higher up.
Wait.
Yeah,
Can you not use normal MagSafe on the iPhone?
No,
Air
no, no.
then?
It's
you can. It's just that this MagSafe battery specifically is like
Is very
it's
tall.
specifically designed for the size.
it's really
of
thin
the
and really
Air.
tall.
Yeah.
in the biggest red flag of all red flags, they've designed a battery just for this ultra thin phone that you can slap to the back.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you can. Oh, we could always slap a battery to the back of your phone, but you're like, oh, for this one, we're gonna make a special one because we know people are gonna want
And
this.
it makes it the same thickness as the regular one.
It makes it the same thickness as a regular phone, and it totals now the same overall battery as the Pro Max.
Right.
With that 3,150 milliamp
as the
hour
Pro
battery.
Max?
As the Pro Max.
Oh,
Bro,
that's kinda
everyone
fire.
says they want a modular phone, and then we get a sort of modular phone. And everyone's like, red flag.
Well, okay. Do
slap
you
another battery on
remember?
it.
Do you remember the Moto Z?
Yeah.
That was before Ellis came
Ultra
online.
thin.
Yeah.
Moto Z was like
I was
the
still in
thinnest.
preschool when that came out.
That was a ridiculously
so
thin
thin.
phone. It might have also been 5 millimeters, like a USB-C
was
port
so
barely fit in
thin.
that phone.
Yeah.
And they had the pins on the back, and you could slap a battery to the back, and
Yeah,
they had a
true.
specially designed. That was also a red flag.
There's a projector. You can
It's
put
the
on
same-
Projector, yeah.
Yeah, or
What?
yeah,
it was a projector
so you
attachment.
Could, you could slap the battery on the back, charge up the battery, then pop that off and put another Moto mod on the back and do other stuff with it, or take it off and use it as a super thin phone. And that was really cool. But it's like, yeah, they did the battery accessory because they knew that this phone would need that type of thing.
Yeah.
Same exact red flag here. It's just an Apple design language, and it's very pretty and it's nice, but it is definitely gonna have a bad battery life without that thing.
Yeah.
So now we know.
What would you consider a bad battery life for this?
Valid question. So they said all day battery without this battery bank. I tend to measure my battery life in screen on time, which is like this old stat that's come from Android phones where it's like, I have had my phone on for 4.5 hours today, and here's the breakdown of all the apps that I was using it for 4.5 hours for. A good battery life for me used to be 4 hours. Now it's 7 or 8.
That's really good, right?
Yeah, 8 hours of
It is
screen on
really
time.
I
is
think
an
like
A
5,
plus.
6 feels like a,
5 or 6 is like
good,
good.
like fine, good.
And I would suspect that this one's going to be 4 to 5, which is usable. It's probably fine, but it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good battery life.
Yeah.
That's where I
I'm
think
guessing
it'll be.
4. They quote 27 hours of playback.
Of video playback,
Of
which
video
is
playback.
what 2/3 of the
Yeah, which
40?
is
39 was the
39 is the Pro Max.
from
Pro Max.
Yeah.
Pro is
Okay.
33.
33.
like 3/4. Yeah.
Yeah. And then with the battery, they quote 40 hours
Okay.
of playback. So, I still think it's just that they're going to make that foldable, and they needed to engineer the components.
You were saying this is what Samsung just did.
Yeah, this is literally what Samsung just did. They released the S25 Edge, and then like 3 months later, they released the Fold 7, which is the S25 Edge in 2 parts.
Part
that
two.
slaps itself together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part deux. Yeah.
So you're saying foldable iPhone confirmed?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, next year probably, I'm sure.
Just checking.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, now that would allow them, and if they were able to fit the entire foldable iPhone in the Plateau, then the second half of the foldable iPhone could all be battery.
That would
and
be
it could
incredible.
get crazy battery life.
That's the one Ellis is buying.
Yeah.
Straight from a mini to a fold.
No, there's got to be something in between, bro.
They're-
My phone is like the past 2 weeks have been specifically so painful on the 12, the old 12 mini. She's barking.
Did I tell you the lady on the flight next to me on the way here had a Z Fold 7?
Oh, 7.
yeah.
She
That's
never
sick.
closed it.
Wow.
Never closed
Legend.
it.
Did it die in
it's the
5
best
minutes?
place to-
We're doing a bonus episode that'll come out after this where we talk to people on the street at the Apple event. Three separate people that we talked to had 12 series phones.
Oh, interesting. 12 series phone.
No one had a mini.
Okay.
I don't think you needed to clarify.
Well, that's kind of where we're at as far as like, we talk about this every year with Apple and targeting. Like, you probably don't need a new phone every single year, but how far back are you that you should upgrade to these new phones? And I think it's probably pretty common for people to be right around the 12 or the 13 series right now.
Yeah.
And those people will find any of these tempting, I think.
Yeah, this is something I was thinking about actually earlier when we were doing the Pixel stuff, because I switched over to the Pixel and I noticed I was just texting people and it was just like RCS chat with this person, RCS chat with this person. And I was like, Apple was really stubborn about adding RCS, but the fact that they force people to update their software and that their software update numbers are so high
Pretty nice.
means that, wow, I can use RCS with all these iPhone people now, and I didn't have to force them to update their phones.
Yeah. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
Yeah. So I think the 17 Air. I think the iPhone Air. Am I allowed to call it 17 Air?
No.
Is that-
No.
Okay. I think the iPhone Air is a really interesting bet. We will be testing it. I will find out exactly how good or bad the battery life is. Stay tuned. Get subscribed.
It does
see that
feel
stuff.
and look amazing, I have to say.
It does feel super light and super thin and very impressive, just like the thin iPad, just like the S25 Edge, just like the S11 Ultra tablet.
Just like the
But-
iPhone 6.
That 6 Plus that had a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see if it bends. But the idea is it's a super thin phone, and we'll see how well it does.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you haven't already noticed, we're in a bit of a special scene/location recording, but there's much more where this came from and much more following. So if you haven't already, get subscribed to see more. See you soon.